Oh, my camera's kind of wobbly. Hello, everybody. Let's start out here. I just wanted to say hi. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone that celebrates it tonight. Tonight, I wanted to go over some debts that I have in my 2024 plan to be able to accomplish my goals this year. So there's a couple things before I get into my debts that I want to do. There's goals that I have, but also I'm not going to be hyper focused on these goals until a lot of my debt is paid down. I am hoping to pay off my debt within 2 years. That being said, I am now only focusing on my bills, my food, some mini challenges to be able to help out with being able to save for different events that happen throughout the year. And then my regular sinking funds as far as my pets, toiletries, car, home, medical, and hobbies go. Every other thing, I'm not going to worry about them until it's actually closer to the date of each thing. And I'm going to use these mini challenges to be able to save for things. Give me 1 second. I feel like my munchkins always like bust in when I'm trying to do something. Okay, so that being said, I will be having food in my cupboard. I'm also going to try and get a month ahead. I'm going to start doing that after I have my emergency fund at $1,000. Then I'm going to start reallocating money to my month ahead along with paying off debt. So now we can move on to what is this debt that I talk about. I do have some medical bills that are not listed in here. I haven't really figured them out yet. I think that we probably owe around $3,000 to $4,000 in medical bills, just from like my son being born. My older son had some speech therapy. He also had a heart surgery and some other medical things that he had done, and just doctor's appointments and things like that. So everything on here, in addition to that, probably around $3,000 in medical bills. I'm not going to really worry about those until I get closer to my debt payoff for my main stuff that's on my credit report. The very first thing on here is my First Premier credit card. First Premier, if anybody knows it, it's just like a credit card. It's pretty easy to apply to. They usually give you like a $300 amount. I don't know if they gave me a $300 or a $500, but I had gotten an amount and I did not pay it back. I was going through a very stressful time when I had these credit cards, and it's not too high to the point where I can't pay it down. So I think that it's going to be something that I can pay off within a month. I'm not too worried about this one, but it is in the stance of being closed. So I don't know how that's going to affect how easy it is to contact them and have this paid off, or if it might do some doing of like me writing a letter. The next one that is closed as well, it's my most recent credit card. I did write down the phone number because I'm planning on calling them as soon as I have my next, not my next payday. My next payday, I'll have $800 in my emergency fund, but starting the new year, I will be starting to pay down these. The last one that I do owe, I actually had some furniture from More Furniture Store. I had actually paid off everything, and then my mom had wanted to use my account to buy some furniture, and I think that she had just forgot to do the last payment. So that is on my credit report, and I need to figure out, since that one is closed as well, I need to contact all three of these to see how easy it will be to be able to get those cleared up. The next one is Midland Credit. This one is from an apartment that we had when we first were starting out. I believe that's what this is from, because I don't even know what else it would be from. But that one, we had gotten charged when we moved out of the apartment, even though we actually hired a cleaning company to come in and clean, but we didn't actually take before and after pictures, so we owe this money. I'm pretty sure that's what it's from because it's been on there for quite a while. Puget Sound Collections Agency. I don't remember what this is. It could be a medical bill. It could be something else. But $720 I owe to them. Then we're getting into the bigger ones. So the next one is going to be my student loan. My lowest balance student loan is $3,592. I went to beauty school. I don't really like touching people, and I don't really plan on going back into that field. But I do have to pay back the debt that I have from it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 loans for cosmetology school. Really, I think that it only came out to $10,000, but I think that I had taken out additional money in order to subsidize my living. Now, with these ones, I actually owe the same amount as when I started, and I went to beauty school 10 years ago. Yeah, if you do the math, that's around $18,000 that I've paid towards these loans in just interest alone. So if they ever give you the option, if you're just thinking about going to school, if they ever give you the option just to pay the minimum balance, just know that there is a possibility that you're not actually making any principal payments. You're just paying them to hold your loans. So I accepted it. I accepted it last year when I did the research, and I was like, how am I still paying them this loan? It's been 10 years. And you know what? I think that it's criminal that they allow this, that I am allowed to just pay without having anything go to principal. I am on a forbearance though. So that being said, I am accumulating interest, but I'm not having to make a payment right now. So my total is $21,682. Now, I know that this is a big number for someone who is on a lower income, but I believe that is definitely possible. I have done the numbers. I don't know if it was in this book or not. Give me 1 second while I look. But I did look at some numbers as far as how much it would cost me to, like how much my payments would be every month. I don't know where that page is right now because I write in like 5 different books. But my next video, I may or may not include that into this. So I watched a video earlier. I think it was Maria's Way of Budgeting or Maria's Budget. Her channel, and I saw that she was going over her binders for the year. And I thought that was a great idea. I kind of want to re-go through my binders and as far as like what I'm going to be using them for. I have a whole separate binder that's going to be used for debt. For the time being though, mainly that's going to be for my higher increments because I think that it only has 6 of them in there. So the first $1,000 or so, I guess $1,200 isn't going to be used in that book, but the rest, so the other 6 will be. So this one, this little checkered binder, this is actually the reason why I got this binder, was to use for my kids' school supplies. There's field trips, school pictures, report cards, fundraisers, school dances, teacher's gift, spring break, graduation, and summer break. So I am planning on starting to use this again and again. This is going to be something that I slowly put into if I have extra cash outside of being able to make my principal payments and extra payments towards debt. I will be continuing my mini challenges because these are actually really awesome. And I have included back to school and birthday. I haven't really decided whether or not I'm going to use this for only my mini challenges or, start incorporating those 2 in there as well. Because I know that there's going to be some times I can't do my holiday binder. Speaking of holiday binder, that's this over here. I haven't even really decided whether or not I'm going to be using this fully in the coming up year or not. I have a couple of challenges over here. Yeah, I haven't really decided whether or not I'm going to be fully depending on this for my sinking funds for the full year. I think there is a possibility I may. If not, then it may be something that I stuff during tax returns, and then sometimes it won't be consistent every single week, but I think that when things start to come up, I will start to hold money in there. This one is my high priority binder, which I am planning on keeping on to. And so the ones that I will be working on a weekly basis will be my minimum debt payments, my toiletries, my pets, medical, home, car maintenance, hobbies, buffer is one that I'm going to start doing. And I want to actually put about $200 in here before I start doing my debt payments, because I don't want my emergency fund to be the same as my debt. And I actually have $200 in another binder that I need to put in the bank or exchange for $200. Okay, and then the next one that I have, this is the money that I need to put back in the bank, but this binder itself I will be using to get a month ahead on my bills. That is something that I plan to have done within 2 years. So it's going to be very small amounts, but little amounts do add up, and I'm very excited for that. This last binder, I was going to use it for my debt binder, it was my husband's binder for a little bit. Then I discovered that he was hoarding one of my binders, and I was like, this is now your binder. You get this one. I bought these binders for a purpose. So this one's coming back into my collection, and this one is going to be used for my Christmas savings, because I want to have different envelopes for each thing that goes on during that time of year, because we do have a lot of different things that we want to do as a family, and I don't want to take away from that. But our main priority will be paying off the debt that we owe. Especially now with just inflation, I don't want to have like debt payments lingering over my head for student loans that well should have been just done with already. Even if and it makes me upset, because even if I was just paying a little bit towards it, like every month, like even if I was making like an extra $50 payment every month, I wouldn't be sitting here telling you guys about this debt. But that's okay. We all live and we all learn. I do recommend, if you have any loans out, if you have any credit cards out, look at the APR, look at how much is actually going to principal and how much is going to your principal payment and your interest payment. Because chances are, I feel like it's really sad, but we live in a consumerist society. And, there's so many instances when I go into a grocery store and they're like, hey, you can get a credit card. Or I, get mailers in the mail, sign up for a new credit card. Or what are other things that happen? When we went to go get our home loan, they literally told us that we could afford a house that was twice as expensive as what we got. More than twice as expensive, actually, because my husband didn't even take out the full amount that they allowed him to. And we didn't even use my income, which I was actually making the same amount as him when I was working at the spa. So it just kind of puts you in a pickle, because if anything bad were to happen to him or me, we're screwed. How are we going to pay our mortgage if he's out of work or I'm out of work? And then I have to get insurance to make sure that we can still pay for something? Like, that's a joke. So that is one thing to keep in mind, is always pay 50% of how much you want to pay for anything. That goes for cars, that goes for houses, any major purchases. Because here's the thing, we live in a consumer society where everyone is out for your dollar. And if you let everyone have your money, then where is your money going to be when you're retired? How are you going to pay for that retirement year? It's really sad to me that there's so many elderly people that can't pay not only their rent and like the main necessities of life, but also simple things like oral health. I have a couple neighbors who are elderly, just hitting retirement age. And I feel so bad for her. And she was telling me like how much her mouth was hurting because she can't afford to have the procedures done. And a lot of people have to wait until like there's like an annual thing in the city where you can go and get your dental work done for free. We really shouldn't have to depend on that. It's really sad. It's so sad. I feel like there's like 4 or 5 different systems that kind of set you up to get fucked. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be swearing. The healthcare system, horrible. It's a criminal how much they're allowed to charge. And on top of that, they not only get money from us, but they also get money from the stock market, because remember, it is publicly owned. Not only that, the stock market, the school system, how much they're allowed to pay for tuition in college. What else? It's really sad when people end up going, yes, when people go to jail and, whether or not they commit the crime, the aftermath afterwards, they don't only have to pay reparations to the city, they also have that on their permanent record. They can't get another job. How are they going to pay for housing? There's so many roadblocks when it comes to those things. In addition to that, it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me that every big major sector in America can literally just ruin your life if you are not prepared or if you just have really bad luck. It's scary. It's scary to live in America now, because it's like, well, what's going to happen? What's going to be the thing that actually gets ya? Is it going to be your APR on your house? Is it going to be you taking out an extra loan because somebody told you to when you're elderly and now you have a payment that's 5 times as much? Or is your property tax going to go up, and then you can't afford your home? Or is it going to be your homeowner's insurance that goes up and then you can't afford your home? It's really sad and it doesn't make any sense, you know? I don't know. I'm just rambling. I am excited to start paying off this debt this year. I'm excited to start instituting this new plan that I have. I think that it will be different. I think that it will be a little bit difficult. And I think that it's going to go faster than I think that it's going to go. Because I'm a year in already and like got all new, but I'm like fully committed at this point to this cash stuffing system. And I'm very excited. I'm excited to watch all of my fellow budgeters and see how their plans progress over time and see what differences and strides they make in their lives. And I hope that everyone is doing well tonight and is having a wonderful Thanksgiving. I won't take up too much of your time. That's kind of the gist of tonight's video. I don't really have anything to save. Otherwise, I would be doing a saving montage. But yeah, so everybody have a great night and happy Thanksgiving. Bye.